Taboo, a word very common among us. Taboo simply means laws in cultures or religious settings that prohibit their members or those that believe in them from engaging in certain things with certain people in certain places. The old word for it is abomination. It's very important we look into this. The reason is because anything that becomes your culture creates your narrative in life. It ultimately determines your worldview. And you see, your perspective is what determines your personality. Your perspective is what determines your perception of others. Your perspective is also what determines how you interpret the hearts and the actions of other people. So it's very, very important. You see, the Word of God talks about it. Jesus himself talks about it. Because he knows that certain traits among people, among individuals, is a product of their cultural and their religious taboos. We see that today. Now, the Word of God speaking about that, when you read Mark chapter 7, verse 13, Jesus was speaking. He said, you have made the Word of God of none effect based on your traditions. Are you seeing what we are saying? So you see, certain cultural and religious taboos can create, a disposition in a people, a disposition in a person that can make the living and the living Word of God unoperational, ineffective in their lives, not producing the will of God that is intended. Now, I want you to look at this and think about it very carefully. Jesus came to promote a culture and a tradition that depicts love. In other words, love is what decides what is a taboo. Love is what decides what's an abomination. And in the mind of God, for love, there are certain things that are taboos. They are abominations in the heart of God. Number one is the abuse, the misuse, or the derogation of the human person. Anything you do or say that reduces the value of a human person, because man was created in the image and the likeness of God. So anything you do to derogate that is a taboo in the realm of love, in the culture of love, in the religion of love. And you get what I'm saying? Because that's what Jesus came to promote, the culture and the religion of love. Now also, one of the taboos of love is forced obedience, forced compliance. Love respects human will. Love respects human choice. Any culture or any tradition or any form of religious taboo that disregards the human will, the human volition, the human willful compliance to anything, is not a culture or a tradition that is sponsored by the spirit of love. That's what Jesus teaches. That's why the Word of God teaches again and again. It says, whosoever wills. Yes, allowing people to make individual decisions, it's a very, very comparative position. In other words, it can have very adverse consequence when it's not a right decision. But on the other hand, the Word of God teaches that it is better you allow people make decisions of their own than to force people to comply to some kind of taboos that are produced by cultures and religions that have no bearing, have no foundation in understanding human value and in the practices of love. Are you getting what I'm saying now? A third thing you see that is a taboo in the realm of love is restricting people from the privilege of self-discovery, the privilege of self-exploration, the privilege of improving themselves, updating themselves with information, with knowledge, empowering themselves with education. So you see certain cultures and certain religious settings that restrict people's access to information. because most cases these systems are built to enslave people with ignorance. So they want to take away from people the capacity to criticize, to analyze, to have deep meditation, deep considerations of some of the taboos that have been embedded in such cultural and religious settings. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So, but love empowers you. Love does not derail you. Love does not put you in a weak position, but in a powerful position. And knowledge is power. Information is power. Are you getting what I'm saying now? And you see, it's in the pursuit of knowledge and information that you begin to access the truth. You begin to access truths that are eternal, truths that have eternal value. And we're talking about truths that project the human value, truths that project the relationship between God and man, truths that make you know what is the origin of man's existence and what is the plan of God to fulfill that man. Are you getting what I'm saying now? We must wake up to these realities. In this 20th century that we are living in, it's very important, and the world has become a global village. Social media has given us the opportunity to be able to interact with other cultures and other religions, and other belief systems, and try to criticize them, analyze them, look into them. It's very, very important that you become open-minded. It's very, very important that you allow the principles of love to become your culture and your religion. I hear what I'm saying. This is the word of God, especially for the coming days. Anybody that does not create a disposition, meaning a disposition to accommodate people in love, then you have put yourself in a position where you'll not be able to relate with others very well in the coming days. Wake up to this reality. This is the kind of thing that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to share with you. God bless you. My name is Pastor John Akwibe. See you next time. God bless.